Greetings and welcome, friends. Mr. Waddy here. We're taking a look at page 179, Algebra 1, Big Ideas. What's the big idea? We are solving mysteries, friends, where you've got a couple of clues and you are trying to figure out which line did it. There is only one equation that passes through 2 points. That's a postulate from geometry. You'll be there someday, don't you worry. And we're trying to find out what that line is, what the equation of that line is in specifically slope-intercept form. So let me actually just write that down. Sloppy intercept form. Y equals mx plus a b is what we got for slope-intercept form. And the two things I need to find the equation of a line are the slope, right, m, and the y-intercept, the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. So could I figure out those clues from these? You better believe it. If I want to find the slope between 2 points, we have another formula. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Good morning, Mr. Farron. I have a couple of quick announcements to share with the school. First of all, Ms. Cohen and her election to government class have compiled the results from their mock election, and I'd like to share those results with the school. First of all, the governor, you have just elected Ms. Lindner, U.S. House, Mr. Welch, for the Senate, Mr. Leahy, and for President of the United States, Hillary Clinton won. There is no word that would be contested. In other news, I'm thrilled to announce that the Brattleboro boys and girls cross-country teams have both captured the Marble Valley League School Championship on Tuesday. This is the first time we've ever won for our girls team and the second in a row for the boys. I'd like to note that all the runners did an excellent job, and I'd like to commend Sarah Gallagher, Liz Morris, Annie Kachuk for all their hard work and all NBL honor. On the boys' side, Isaac Grace Egan continued his dominance by winning the entire race at a pace that was 12 seconds off of the course record. Also, making waves to the Colonels, Spencer Logia, Colin Crispin Walsh, and Trevor Kipp, receiving all NBL honors and medals. If you see our cross-country competitors, please thank them and wish them luck as they move on to stage. Thanks, and enjoy the weekend.
All right, cool. Announcements, hip hip hooray. All right, so now I've just got to edit that part out of the video. Fortunately, I wrote down the timestamp. Let's cut it out at 2:50. And 5 seconds. 4, 3. So using slope formula, I can find the m that I'm looking for. All right, that's what I will use to figure out the slope between those 2 points. It's like we're sending this data to the ballistics lab. They're going to send us back the results, and we'll find out what the slope of our line is. Now, I want to point out, once we find the slope, there are still infinitely many parallel lines with that slope. So I'll still need the y-intercept before I can narrow it down to a single culprit. So if I'm going to use slope formula, I've got to label these points. All right, and I could call this one 0.2, this one 0.1, this one 0.1, this one 0.2. The only thing I can't do is label like this x coordinate 0.1 and its y coordinate 0.2. So don't mix them up. You got to commit. Whole point committal here. All right, so to find the slope, that is, I don't even know. That's not an m though. There we go, that's good enough. M is going to equal the y2 minus the y1 over the x2 minus the x1. And -4 minus a -4 becomes -4 plus 4. And what will that become? Do you suspect? What's -4 plus 4? 0. Yeah, I'm just going to write 0 in the numerator. And 0 minus 2 is -2. I'm going to end up with m equals 0. 0 slope. What does the line look like in general when it has 0 slope? Does anyone remember? Like, could you describe it? Yeah, it's a horizontal line. That's what the arm movements that I was seeing in my class were. Horizontal line. All right, so I found the slope. But there's, like I said, there's infinitely many horizontal lines. But we've still narrowed it down. That infinity, I don't know, could I say that it's less than the other infinitely many lines? Well, anyways, I'll let you guys consider infinity later. But I've got to find my b. How can I find my b?
Oh yeah, also, just a chocolate you actually did some last night.
Awesome.
And then we got this another one.
Awesome sauce. Let's see. So the y-intercept, b, remember, occurs anytime you have an x coordinate of 0. So they actually gave us the b. It was with us the whole time. I never would have suspected it. B is equal to -4. And so now that I have my 2 pieces of DNA, right, I can accuse the line y equals 0x minus 4, or more simplified, y equals -4, the horizontal line, y equals -4. Ah, you would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for us meddling kids. Sure. So there we go. All right, same problem, different presentation. This is using function notation, and our function is going to be in the form of f. So we'll have an f of x equals mx plus b. All right, same thing. This just means output. All right, the x is our input, and that's cool. So f of -2 equals 6, you could have thought of that as when the input is -2, the output is 6, if you wanted to write that as an ordered pair. F of 0 equals -4 means that when we plug in 0, the output is -4. Oh, you're already solving mysteries. B equals -4. I like it. Because? Man, I like this. We're good. We are detectives here. Oh, this is amazing. We're going to solve another case, friends. All right, so I still need to find my m. My m I can find by using the slope formula, x1, y1, x2, y2. I don't have a graph to go by, but the slope formula is going to do it for me. So m equals the what now? Let's see, -4, y2 minus y1, which is 6, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is -2. All right, so equals -4 minus 6. It's getting more negative. If I borrow $4 and then borrow $6, I didn't somehow suddenly have no money I owed anybody. I owe you $10 is what that would say, right? Divided by 0 minus a -2, that's the same as 0 plus 2. That's the 2 in the denominator, the debottominator, if you will. M is equal to -10 divided by 2. That's -5. So guys, we found it. All right, let's go get a warrant from the judge and we'll go arrest this line y equals -5x minus 4. It's the only line that ever could pass through those 2 points. Ever. We found it. And it's not gonna get away with it, right? The evidence is on our side. All right, here we go. This is a slightly different problem. We didn't see one like this yesterday. That's why I wanted to take a look at it. In terms of input, right, and output, okay? Here are my x's and y's. I still need to find the slope. I could write these as ordered pairs, or I could just think about it change in y over the change in x. All right, so for my slope, the change in y between these 2 points, and really I could have actually picked these 2 or even these 2. It doesn't matter, it'll all give me the same slope. Well, let's just do these 2. These ones look easy. Oh, that's a little tricky, but that's fine. This is going up 2 for the rise. And this one's going backwards 1 for the x. So my slope is going to be 2 divided by -1. What's that the same as? 2, and that minus sign is still hanging out there. If you don't like that, you could have thought of those as the points 0, 1, and -1, 3. and then just done like your regular y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you would have gotten the same thing. I just kind of wanted to point out that you could have read that from this input-output table. Anyone have any clues on the y-intercept as we're investigating this crime scene? Y-intercept. There's a 0. So that means that when the input is 0 for the x, the output, or the y, was 1. That means this point's on the y-axis, so b must equal 1. Right? The y-intercept occurs anytime the x-coordinate is 0. Right? You also could see that right here if you wrote it as an ordered pair. Right? There's the y-intercept there as well. So I'll have y equals negative 2x plus 1. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Are you guys ready for problem 31? All right. One minute. All right. Finish writing. And I love having more colors than the human eye can see. However, I really kind of only pick the midpoints roughly of these color diagrams. I haven't really been branching out too much. But I mean, I could theoretically go all over the place. But I'm fine with just kind of like these basic ones. All right, we ready yet? Cool. All right. I think we can do this word problem, guys. We've got this. Modeling with mathematics. All right, now mathematical modeling is actually one of the 8 mathematical practices from the Common Core state standards. The Common Core doesn't just talk about what you need to do, but also kind of how you do it, how you present it. And modeling is one of these big ideas. Can I use math to communicate about something in the real world? And maybe my model isn't perfect the first time, and then I refine it and make it better and more accurate, and that's how it works. So let's see if we can model this situation with equations. So it says a recording studio charges musicians an initial fee of $50 to record an album. Guys, that sounds like so y-intercept to me because of this word, right? The y-intercept is the starting number. That sounds like y-intercept to me. Do you guys see that? You know what I'm talking about? Do you feel that? Like, all right, so even if I have recorded 0 hours, I still have to pay $50, right? 0 hours, $50 is what that sounds like. Okay, let's keep reading though. Studio time costs an additional $75 per hour. That dollars per hour, that sounds like a rate. That sounds like a slope. I'm thinking M is going to equal 75. Right? Or 75 per 1 hour, if you want to think about it like that. Up 75 over 1, something to that effect. It says, write a linear model that represents the total cost of recording time. Let's see, I guess we should define our variables. So Y, the output, is equal to total cost measured in American dollars. And let's see, of recording an album as a function of f of x. What's x? Studio time in hours. Do you see that? F of my x is the studio time in hours. So x equals studio time, measured in hours. All right, bless you. All right. Now they ask, we didn't write our equation yet. What is our equation? Y equals let's see. The starting fee was 50. I wrote it as a point. That's the same as saying B equals 50. Right? Yeah, plus 50. And so notice the way this equation works. When X is 0, this part is 0, and I am charged $50. If I record for 1 hour, I'm charged $50 plus 1 times 75, which is $125 total. If I record for 2 hours, 75 times 2 is 150, plus the starting fee, that would be $200. Okay, so this kind of makes sense, right? $75 multiplied, right? $75 per hour multiplied by hours. This is going to give me the amount that I pay for all of those hours, and then I add the $50 just to show up fee. Okay, so there's my equation. But part B, is it less expensive to purchase 12 hours of recording time? Let's see, what variable was measuring hours? Which of my variables was measuring hours of recording time? Let's see. I'm asking, was it the Y variable or the X variable that represented hours of studio recording time? Let's see. Hours, dollars, right? So if they were asking me a question about, if they told me I had a certain number of dollars and I want to figure out how many hours I could get, I'd plug in the dollars. But this one, this 12, is going to represent the X. All right, so they're asking, what do I get when X equals 12? Right, how much does that cost? And then they said, or a $750 music software program that you can use to record on your own computer. So let's plug in 12 here and find out what we get. How much money would 12 hours of studio time cost? So I'm going to say Y equals 75 times 12 plus 50. Yeah? All right. I'll do this a little bit at a time. 75 times 12 is 900. I asked my calculator. Plus 50 is 950. That means 12 hours costs $950. So it is more expensive. All right. Guys, I think I want to add a part C to this. I know we're going over the homework. I know this video is already a little ways long, but I want to ask a part C. When would the $750 recording software cost the same amount as the recording studio time? What number of hours of studio time would cost the same as $750? All right, do you guys understand my question? All right, let's write that mathematically. So so part C, I'm saying how many hours of studio time would cost $750? Bonus question, right? That's the question, and I guess I should make it a question like so. So if I'm thinking about it costing $750, which variable was measuring dollars? Which variable would I plug this in for? Wait, look at the variable. What units were these measuring? This is dollars. And so do I plug it in for X or Y? Which one's measuring dollars?
Y.
The Y this time. So what this is asking is, what do I get when Y equals 750? Right? And so if I want to use my new model, my mathematical model, I could do 750, ugh, it's a weird loopy 7. 750 equals 75x plus 50. And if I solve this equation for x, x represents what? X is the studio time in hours. All right, so if I solve for this x when my y was 750, it'll tell me how many hours would $750 get me. All right, so let's solve that for x real quick. Subtract 50 from both sides, 50 minus 50. Here we go. I'm gonna get 700 equals 75x. And what do I do to both sides now? Divide by 75. It's not going to go in even, that's fine. And I will get x equals, oh dear, the wrong color. Oh no. Let's see, $700 divided by 75. I'm guessing it's going to be under 10 hours, right? Because if I was dividing by 70, I would have gotten 10. Dividing by 75, it's going to fit in fewer times. I get 9.3 repeating. So that's 9 1/3 hours, right? Or 9 hours. What's a third of an hour? 60 minutes divided by 3 is 20 minutes. All right. So it would get me $750 would get 9 hours and 20 minutes of recording time. Right? And so then we could talk about, okay, if I'm recording less than that, I should go with the recording studio. If I'm recording more than that, I should buy the software. Okay? Austin, was that free software that you were toying with, or? Yeah. How much did that cost, or was that like a free version? Cool. Good deal. All right, well, thank you for watching, Internet friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.